excuse me. Oh, sorry, I almost missed my mark. I was drinking my water that's full of chemicals from a bottled water with sodium bicarbonate in it and calcium chloride.
They wouldn't put it in water if it was bad for you.
You know what sodium bicarbonate does?
I had no idea.
They use it for an anti-caking agent.
What's wrong with that?
Why would you need an anti-caking agent in water?
I've heard water can be really cakey at times.
Cakey water.
That's the worst.
Welcome to Shrouded Realities. Today you got two idiots in the room. Just me, Joey, and Steven.
Yeah.
Our boy Connor's out sick today, and we got Ruby, the podcast dog, but she's not going to be adding much to the show, I don't think.
Probably not.
She can't talk about how bad her food is for her.
That's right.
Even though it is.
It is. It's actually really bad for her.
It really is.
You know whose fault that is?
Us, because we
Ours.
just keep giving it to her.
It's ours.
Well, here's the only thing that you can eat for the rest of your life is this highly processed food that is full of corn and soy and
all the things that you would not eat in the wild.
Yeah.
You would not eat this if you were not in this situation.
I'm a bad dog owner.
Domesticated animals are the only other obese animal in the wild. It's domesticated animals.
It's true.
So that's all our fault.
And I've seen it in her. When we first got her, she was skin and bones because she was a stray. And, we got her, nursed her back to health, and now she's getting fat, and I can't keep her from getting fat.
It's a problem.
So I'm going to have to change her diet soon.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What are you going to change it to? Just raw meat?
I've been looking at Farmer's Dog.
Okay.
But
I don't even know what that is.
It's supposed to be an all-natural food source.
Wait until you look into it, and then it's just full of all the bad stuff. It just costs more money.
I hope not, yeah. It definitely costs more money, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, she might be a good test case for ultra-processed food. So that's what we're talking about today is ultra-processed food, pharmaceuticals, all the things that are making America unhealthy.
This is a freaking rabbit hole, man.
Big rabbit hole.
Golly. I went into this with the understanding of, let's touch back on the food episode. That would be a really cool episode. Mm-hmm. And the further I've dug, the worse it's got.
Oddly enough, we didn't think this was like episode 3 or 4.
4. It was episode 4, and I was not excited about that episode.
I mean, I was.
Everybody's flocked to it, though.
It's one of our better working episodes.
I don't know why, but I guess that's the pulse of America is on this issue, I think. And
it's starting to trend too. Rogan's had a couple people on that's brought this stuff to life,
which is a cue for Shrouded Realities to dip their toe in it again.
Yeah, right? We'll bring it back and talk about it because that seems to be what people want to listen to.
That was a big episode for us. So
so we're gonna hit it again, and I've been doing some deep diving. Did a little life changing on my own.
Yeah.
I tried to cut out sugar. Got a little story on that.
Okay.
I watched a documentary called That Sugar Film. It's on, you can get it on like some of the free streaming platforms, but, so the dude, he's from Australia, New Zealand, somewhere over there in the other side in the bush, down under. But he was a no sugar guy, no sugar diet, real healthy. He went on eating 40, daggum it, should have wrote this down.
40 grams.
I think it was 40 grams of 40 teaspoons of sugar. That's what it was. Not grams, it was teaspoons.
That could be a mountain's worth of it.
How
many is that?
It was a lot.
That seems like a lot of sugar.
It was a lot. The scary part was once he got to doing it, he realized it wasn't that much because of how much sugar is in your stuff.
Yeah, the further I've dug into this, the more I've realized it's literally in everything you eat.
Everything. Yeah.
Even the things that are like, oh, these are good for you. You look into it and you go, oh, this is just packed full of sugar, and it's all processed sugar. It's not even like good sugars for you.
And that's all I've done was just cut out the processed sugar. I quit doing sweet tea. I was wearing out some sweet tea, and it sucks. I miss it so bad.
I love sweet tea.
And then just like donuts and cakes and just all the stuff that has sugar in it.
All the things that make you feel good on the inside.
But it's still in everything else.
Until you feel bad.
Yeah.
It's one of those you eat it and you're like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
5 seconds later, you're like, why did I do that?
Why did I do that?
I feel like garbage now.
Yeah. I did that. That was my story. So I've been doing really good. I hadn't had sweet tea in like weeks, and hadn't had desserts in weeks, and I was feeling good about myself. Went on vacation this week. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's vacation.
It's vacation.
I'm supposed to.
Celebrating my anniversary with my wife.
Absolutely.
Let's just wear it out all week long.
Yeah.
Dumb.
You
feel like horse
feel a little
garbage.
heavier.
I feel heavier from my gut getting big again.
So did you Did you feel better in that span of time? Like, was it a noticeable difference of you not eating it? Significant.
I was just starting to come off of that withdrawal, and it's a legit withdrawal. Like, you get addicted to it. Mm-hmm. And I was finally getting to where I was like feeling good. I could go all day, like working, not needing naps, like just feeling great. And then I wore out some Italian ice with ice cream mixed in with some little nerds mixed in with it.
Nerds.
Yeah.
That's
little balls of
hard
sugar.
Candied sugar balls.
Yeah. Yes. So I did that. It was amazing. Tasted great. Mm-hmm. Next day.
That's where they get you.
They do.
Dude, that's where they get you completely, because you will completely go past everything and go, you know what, but it tastes good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it. Yeah. I know I'm going to feel bad.
Yeah.
And you'll just push that out to go, anyway. I'm doing it.
Tastes great.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good right now while it's in my mouth.
Exactly.
And then it goes in your gut, starts working, giving you visceral fats and making you feel like horse garbage. But you want more because it's crazy addictive.
Have you seen why that's the case, though? Have you been looking into any of that?
The addiction side of it?
Yeah.
Fill me in.
That gets so dirty.
Fill me in, yeah.
So supposedly in the 90s, Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds bought the two largest food companies in the world.
You want to tell us who Philip Morris is?
They're tobacco companies. Which were very wholesome people to begin with. Yeah. They were not trying to do anything.
What were they really good at in the 80s and 90s?
See, they had figured out this thing that they could put a bunch of addictive stuff that really gets you hooked on cigarettes and tobacco products and things like that.
Paying doctors to tell you how good it is for you.
Sometime during this time frame, we realized, guess what's bad for you? Tobacco and nicotine. Well, nicotine is probably actually not that bad for you. It's when you start putting carpet adhesive inside of it. That's when it kind of gets rough. So they shifted all of these scientists that worked on making these products more addictive to food.
Yeah.
So that's why today we've got all of these added things in our foods. It started right there. That was when the heavy push on the food pyramid was, and we need to really get heavy in carbs. And we need
Kellogg's deep in this too?
Kellogg's deep in it. I mean,
we talked about Kellogg.
Dirty. But I mean, they already knew how to lobby the government for a lot of this stuff because they've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So they already had that in, and here we are today with, you can't get away from it. It's everywhere. It's in everything, and it's addictive.
Very.
Yeah. Hence the withdrawals that you've experienced just going through this.
Yeah, you feel bad the first little bit, for the first week or two. You feel, and it's not so much a craving. It was there is some craving, but it was a lot of like, I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Because I needed, in my head, air quotes right now, needed some sugar.
There is that initial burst of like energy that happens right after you do that. You get that like kick.
Yeah.
But the fall after that kick is horrible.
It's not good.
And I don't know that you even realize that's what you're doing in the moment. I don't think in the moment you're like, I feel like garbage after I ate that. You don't connect those two things together until you've had that span of time of, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just feeding garbage. I'm feeding toxic waste inside of my body, and then I feel bad afterwards. That adds up.
Yeah. So that documentary, Sugar, what was it called? That Sugar Film is what it's called. He went from no sugar at all to just a very moderate amount. And he was measuring, he'd go on to get your little grams on the side of the thing, and he would measure it out, and that's how he kept up with it. The first day, he was at his quota by breakfast, and he had healthy foods too.
That's 40 teaspoons of sugar he had before he got out of breakfast time.
Yeah, he was. It wasn't all the way to it, but it was close enough that he had to plan the rest of his day. And I'm talking, and it wasn't even that. It wasn't like cramming his face full of donuts. It was normal breakfast food. I mean, are we talking like Lucky Charms or? No, it was like oats and like stuff that we would think has zero sugar in it.
Things that we go, oh, this is the healthy option for me. I need to eat oats.
Yeah, the juice had a ton in it, and that was another thing.
Was it added sugars or was it? Do you know if it was added sugars or if it was natural sugars?
Both.
There's a debate of okay,
both. But it was
added sugars. I think is where the problem really kicks in there.
Yeah,
it's not the natural sugars from fruit.
Yeah,
that's really the issue. It is the added processed sugar that's really the problem in that, I think.
Yeah. But they monitor his health through the whole thing, and had doctors and psychologists and stuff working with him to monitor his health as he went through. And it was only like 60 days, and it was bad, like noticeable weight gain. And he was exercising. That was the crazy part. Like it showed him out like running around, lifting stuff, and just like doing his normal workout routine. And he was still getting very unhealthy very quick just by adding a little bit of sugar into his diet.
What was the time frame that he did it?
I think it was 60 days.
60 days?
Yeah. It wasn't a lot. So you're talking about 2 months of just changing your diet to eating normal American food. And that was kind of part of it too. About 2 weeks in, he came to America. He said it was impossible not to eat. I mean, like it was just so easy for him to just get his sugar intake of the day just by eating normal, healthy protein bars and like normal stuff. And it just wearing him out.
That's terrible.
It wore him out.
And that's what we're doing on a daily basis.
Daily. Like don't
and
check
thinking we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases.
Yeah. And see, all I did was cut out the processed stuff, the sweet teas and the Cokes and all the good stuff that you think is okay to eat that for a treat, but it's just that adds on to what you're already eating.
Yeah. In
your ketchup. I got a new name for ketchup now. It's tomato flavored sugar paste.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Diabetes soup.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get into that and you can't help but get tons of sugar all the time.
Have you tried ketchup without sugar added? It's the worst.
Have you ever had French fries without ketchup on it?
Yeah, I will do that sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Super bland.
No, put more salt on it. That's the most American thing I can say. No, it just needs more salt.
Just trade out the sugar for the...
Yeah, just give me sodium. That's better for me.
I'm kind of wondering if it is. I'm not seeing a ton of stuff.
Well, what was it? I mean, eggs were bad for you.
Yeah.
Meats were... Any kind of fatty meats are bad for you. I mean...
You know who started all that?
Yeah, I do. Go back to episode 4. I think there's there may be a little bit of telltale there.
Our boy Kellogg.
Kellogg's.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
You're talking about the guy that makes like
you don't want
sugar
testosterone.
candy for breakfast.
Yeah, you don't want to get your testosterone too high.
Yeah.
That's why I'm drinking this right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all of my xenoestrogens in for the day.
Yeah.
Get my natural source of xenoestrogens straight from this plastic bottle.
Yeah. That was another part of it was the plastics.
Have you seen all that?
God.
Dude, there's no escaping that
It's
part.
not.
There's really zero escaping that part. I mean, it's in every drink you drink.
Mm-hmm.
You think, I'll drink out of this aluminum can.
Yeah.
Guess what that's lined with? Plastic.
Yeah.
All of that it's dipped in plastic before they send it to you.
They say it's in the air we breathe.
Did you say that we eat a credit card's worth of plastic a week?
It's gross.
Yes.
Where's it go? Right in them cells.
Well, there was
right up in them.
And I'm jumping a little bit, but I was looking into the xenoestrogen epidemic that's obviously going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the air. They tested, they went through and tested a bunch of women that were pregnant. 100% of placentas were full of plastics.
Yeah. Every
Every organ in your body is full of some form of plastics.
And nobody's going to say that's okay.
No.
But we do it anyway.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and eat this plastic bottle.
No.
But I kind of am.
Yeah.
And I don't know it.
Yeah. Because it's everywhere.
They're like, well, don't stick your plastic plates in the microwave. It doesn't matter.
No.
From what I'm seeing, it doesn't matter. No. And the side effects of all of these xenoestrogens, which is just a synthetic estrogen that you're pumping into your body.
Mm-hmm.
Females are hitting puberty 6 years earlier on average than the entire world.
Yep. It's
breast cancer.
It's demasculating
of course
boys and men.
I think that there is a slew of symptoms that are going on from just that. That's just one aspect of the whole bigger problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can dig deeper into that as we go on, but man, it's going to be hard not to bounce around in this episode because every little thing ties into this piece and that piece ties into this piece. And it's just, it's going to be hard to make sense of this one, I think.
Yeah. And we'll try at the end, to talk through some ways that could help us.
Yeah.
Get better.
Hopefully.
If it's not too late.
Yeah. I hope that there is not too much of a hold, but I don't know.
Yeah. if you watch the news at all, RFK, he's kind of partnered with Trump a little bit, and that's kind of his big campaigning push, and Trump's kind of absorbed that campaign push too, is for the MAHA, they call it, make America healthy again. I love that. I don't love it.
MAHA?
It doesn't roll off my tongue. Sounds weird. First couple times I heard it, I didn't know what they were talking about. I had to do some digging.
Yeah, MAHA sounds a little weird, but
I get it though. He's playing off the MAGA, but
sure. I mean, I get it. And hopefully when this episode releases, we have great news of that's all going to be enacted. Mm-hmm. Because once this episode's out, we're past election time. We're past all of that at that point. So
this is going to come out.
This will be out
right
2 weeks after.
A week after. It's going to be, we're a week and a half now out.
No,
it's next week. It's Tuesday.
It's this coming Tuesday.
2 weeks.
Just so everybody has an idea of the time frame we're recording this, we are like 4 days, 4 days away.
Election. You nervous about it?
Yeah.
I think everybody is.
I think this is probably, and it's said at every election, it's the biggest election in my lifetime for sure.
Yeah, you're right. It is said
It's said in every one of them. It's played out, but I just think there's so much riding on this election.
And somebody's going to be highly upset on either side.
Yes.
Like, both sides. Like, sometimes I've noticed in past elections, you're like, if he loses, I'd say that in the Barack Obama campaigns, elections. I was like, don't,
I think we're further on a tipping point now than we've ever been, though.
Yeah.
Tensions are just higher in the country.
Yeah.
There's things like this that we know now, like this food and tech, and we know too much. And it's riding on one thing happening for some kind of change to even exist.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our rant on that, I guess.
Yeah, but that to me, that's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. At least it's making national it's not even making national headlines. It's actually doing better because national headlines don't matter anymore. Yeah, I'd say internet media.
It's independent media that is actually talking about this, and I think that is a lot to do with what RFK has done and just bringing it up, and then people go, well, yeah, that's right. There are problems that we're all noticing, and
maybe we should do something about it.
Maybe we should do something about this.
Yeah.
And other countries already have.
Yeah. America's way behind on a lot of this stuff.
So, well, it's just to make your food cheaper, man. We need to spray pesticides on it.
So get this though. So we save a little money on some food.
That's the stat on this.
Yeah, you probably know where I'm going. So you save a little money on food, spray all these pesticides, spray Roundup on everything you eat.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, spray this thing that kills everything it touches. But we're going to eat it.
Yeah. You know what the definition of sides is? To kill things.
Yeah. So herbicides, pesticides, fungicides on everything we touch, everything we eat, everything goes in our mouth. We don't care. We're just eating it.
Nope.
And then, so it brings our food costs down because it makes it easier for the farmer to produce the stuff. Mm-hmm. But then guess what happens on the backside when we're getting sick?
Yeah.
We're paying tons of money in medical costs.
You think that's not connected?
Very much connected.
I think that one is funding the other.
Yes.
So I saw where we spend on our food budget half of what Europe would spend.
Yeah.
So we're cutting our costs of food in half. Mm-hmm. We spend 3 times the amount in healthcare.
Yeah.
And it's all chronic illnesses. Mm-hmm. This is diabetes, it's cancers, it's Alzheimer's, it's all of these things.
Metabolic health.
It's metabolic health problems.
Yep.
And they're all tied together with this stuff, I think. I think that this one says, hey, make this dirty little food here. Mm-hmm. We'll subsidize this over here. And they're tying themselves together.
I always wondered where the government subsidies, like you hear that in the farming industry a lot, farmers have to be subsidized. And that's kind of the thing that they brainwash farmers with is like, you have to be subsidized to be able to survive. Yeah. You have to have this insurance just in case it rains too much. Mm-hmm. It's not really about that. It's more of, we're going to give you low amount of money for this corn that you grow or the soybean that you grow.
Yeah.
But government will hook you up on the back end. Mm-hmm. So they're brainwashed to think that they have to be subsidized. But I've always wondered where, and you just connected the dots for me, is where does that subsidy money come from? If the corn is so cheap, how do they have money to give to the farmers to do it? But you just nailed it. The Ozempics of the world, the cancer societies of the world.
What was it? The food lobby pays for over half of the FDA's budget.
That's nuts.
If that is not just the most dirty intermingled problem that you can think of. Guess
where all their employees come from too.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
lobbyists.
The lobbyists.
They're former lobbyists that just jump right into a job that they've been.
And they go, "Oh, Red 40? Cool.
Don't
I'll
care.
sign that."
Don't care.
Did you tell me that was fun? Okay, cool. All right, you said it's good. The food guy said it was fine.
Yeah, appreciate that Ferrari you just gave me.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. Appreciate that.
Let me tell you, it's somebody that's not hurting for money and can give away Ferraris is them boys.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
sure. Big pharma, big farm, like big agriculture is the word for it. Don't want to mix the two up, but like that's it, man.
Not your local farmer. Mm-mm. Not your local dude that's like going to the farmer's market and selling tomatoes.
Because they have to.
Yeah.
That's why they're set up to survive.
Yes.
Is to be dependent on the FDA.
We're talking about these mega farms that are just pumping pesticides and selling this to, and it's not anybody in your local place. Most of these are pushed in from other countries too. Mm. And
I've talked to other farmers when this first kind of hit my radar, regenerative agriculture and all that, and I started learning about it. I've got a buddy that raises cattle and farm stuff, and I was kind of tipping my toe in the water with him just to see how he felt about it. And he was like, "Yeah, you have to spray. You have to use nitrates to grow whatever. Even if you're growing cattle, you got to spray the field with nitrates to grow the grass for the cows to eat." And I was like,
why?
He's been corrupted.
Why do you have to do that?
Because they tell him he has to.
Yep.
You have to. Yeah, like rotational grazing is.
Let it rest.
Yes, let the land rest. Let the grass grow. Put the cow back on it, and he's got plenty to eat. You don't have to spray anything.
And
guess what comes out of his backside? Mm-hmm. The fertilizer that the cows need.
Exactly.
So if you let it rest and let nature do what nature's supposed to do.
However, in mass, that's a problem. If you're producing in mass, you can't do that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if
you think you can, is what you're saying?
I think that's wrong. I think that if the system gets a complete total overhaul, you get these subsidies out, farmers are not only encouraged but taught how to rotational graze and regenerative agriculture. I think the world feeds us.
Okay.
It would take a major overhaul, and we can't do it with the way the system is right now.
No,
not at all.
Not with how it's set up currently.
No. But let me ask you this: would you be willing? You said that overseas, food costs are more, but health costs are less. Would you rather pay 50 cents for a granola bar that's just crammed full of high fructose corn syrup, or would you rather eat something healthy, pay a little bit more for it, and not have to go to the doctor every week for certain shots to make your diabetes go? You know what I mean? Like,
so I think that we are being, it's you're moving money from one hand to the other, of course. But I think that a lot of what's going on is you pay for insurance for your health, so you're not out of pocketing it, and that's just pulled right out of your check. Mm-hmm. You never notice it. It's just bloop, that money's gone.
Yeah,
right.
It's a lot of money too.
But when I go to the grocery store, I'm having to hand money over and say, "Here, take this."
Yeah.
The insurance is out of sight, out of mind. It's just bloop, that's gone.
Yeah.
You start hitting people's pocketbooks at the grocery store, and they're not going to be okay. Everybody's going to be mad
because it's
up here.
Yeah,
that's a mind game.
It is a mind game,
and dude, I'm telling you, this is set up.
Yeah.
This is set up that way intentionally.
I think this brain rot machine I'm holding up my phone for the people listening to audio. I think that has a lot to do with it because it just softens your mind up so much. I think
they're in this game just as much.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to, what were their names on Tucker and Joe Rogan?
Callie and Casey Means.
Yeah. So
let me tell you about them real quick.
Yeah,
for the listeners. Callie Means is a former lobbyist that worked for big agriculture and big food. And he did the dirty stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah. He was involved with it. Yeah. I think he was with Coke.
Yeah,
he was a Coke lobbyist.
Right. Yeah, he worked for Coke.
Which Why does Coke need a lobbyist?
Yeah.
That's weird enough to me. You're going to sell Coca-Cola.
Yeah, guess
anyway.
what? Little tangent. Guess what's food stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why, because
you can get all the Coke you want on food stamps.
We were going to take it off of food stamps because it's diabetes water.
Yep.
I mean, that's all it is.
Oh, it's just clean your bumper with it. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was kind of what got him out of the system, was how bad he felt about it. So he pulled out of the political system, and now he's advocating for stuff that all the dirty stuff he's seen in the backside.
And just to play off of that just a second, because it's the same thing. He was talking about Coke. Do you know how much they give massive amounts of money to the Diabetes Association?
Really?
Coke does.
What?
That makes no sense to me at all.
None.
That's like saying, I mean, I think Tucker made the comparison of that's like Tyson Chicken paying PETA.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense at all.
It's none.
It was a perfect example that I heard.
Yep. So he's partnered up with his sister, Casey Means. She's a former surgeon. She was a
Stanford Medical
doctor.
School, big time.
Harvard. Was that Stanford?
No, he was Harvard. She was Stanford.
That's right. That's right. But she was like top of her class, like one of the best surgeons. She was a head and neck surgeon.
ENT. Ear, nose, throat.
That's right. That's right. So she did the same thing. She realized that she was fixing people's problems, not knowing what caused the problems.
You were treating symptoms. You weren't treating the overarching issue.
Yep. And the medical system had her so trained that you don't question what got them there. Mm-hmm. You make your money by fixing the sick people.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell them how to fix themselves so they don't come back. But thanks for coming back. I'll see you next time for the next surgery that I'm going to make a ton of money on. So their parent, her mom passed away. Their mom's passed away. And that's kind of what triggered both of them to like, all right, we're changing. We're doing this. She said she put the scalpel down. She stopped doing surgeries, and now she's focusing solely on this. You know, she's got books out about it and about how to.
I do want to read it just for everybody that's listening. I think it's called Good Energy was the one that they released together.
Yeah.
And I've got to go and actually sit and read it other than just ingesting podcasts from them, which has been a lot of my research on this because I feel like they're the only ones really shouting this information a little bit.
Yeah, and they've got an interesting partnership given how they see from the big government side,
they see
all the way to the big pharma side.
Yeah, well, they see the medical 100% because she was talking about how everything's broke out into specialists a lot. And that's, man, that the further I've looked into that, that's just dirty too.
It is.
Because you're going, say you've got 4 problems, you're going to go see 4 individual specialists who are going to put you on 4 different medications, who are going to give you potentially 4 different surgeries.
Yep.
And then you're going to need 4 different medicines for each one of those surgeries. So your healthcare is funding your pharmaceutical, and your pharmaceutical is funding your healthcare and you're just in an intermingled mess.
Yeah. So you got your back surgeon that's fixing somebody for their jacked up spine.
Yeah.
But guess what? Their spine's jacked up because they're a little bit overweight.
Yeah.
Carrying up a bunch of extra weight from all the sugar they've been eating.
Yep.
Do you think the back surgeon is going to be talking to her about her diet?
I think that if he was to say anything about weight, he's automatically going to be labeled as a bad human.
Yeah.
And that goes to a whole different other
dare you body shame me?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Mm-hmm. But we'll say that smoking's bad. We'll do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Now.
We'll say drinking's bad.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that in a heartbeat. But the second you say, hey, look, you're a little fat, buddy.
Yeah. Got to chill out on the
You
sugars.
got to chill out on some of this. It's, no, can't do that. That's wrong.
And we're not like dogging anybody overweight because
I'm not dogging them
because the system is so freaking stacked against you.
Here's the thing. I'm a little overweight.
Yeah.
I could probably stand to lose about 20.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what do you do?
What do you do? It's everywhere.
I mean, just like your example, this guy came here for 60 days and he's like, oh yeah, I've put on significant weight and I'm still working out and I'm still doing all the things I should be.
Yeah.
We had a guy just come back from Europe that we work with, and I was talking to him and he said, you could point out the American almost immediately.
Really?
Any tourist that was over there, he's like, I could look at him and go, that person's American. He said, because they were that much bigger.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
If we're carrying that much extra from this.
Yeah.
You can't tell me it's not connected.
No.
But we were talking about.
Yeah, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's like I said, it's really easy to go out on a tangent on any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But where I was saying connection, I think this ties to our brain rot episode a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How much money is pushed into a child's dopamine?
Oh, wow.
How much money is pushed into swipe, swipe, swipe?
Mm-hmm.
How much money is made off of that?
Yeah.
A stupid amount.
Yep.
Otherwise, and is it addictive?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely it is.
100%.
I think you can say that for adults. It's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably got that problem.
100%.
Actually, I'm going to take the word probably out of that. I have that problem.
Yep.
Me and my dad were talking about this after the brain rot episode come out, and he's like, I have actually had to look at what I'm doing. There are times when I've got the TV on and I'm sitting on my phone and just scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's almost gluttonous how much we're just ingesting all this stuff.
Yep.
But if you're just sitting and swiping all day, average is 7 hours a day for a child on screen time.
Good night.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
70% of children are getting less outside time than a prisoner. That's crazy.
Say that again.
70% of kids are getting less outside time, so sunlight, than a prisoner.
Don't they get like an hour a day?
Yes. That's the worst. Which is going to lead to depression.
Mm-hmm.
When you're sitting there scrolling, you're going to snack.
Mm-hmm.
So you're eating more food, which means you're going to end up on SSRIs, antidepressants. You're going to end up with probably diabetes.
So you say pre-diabetes.
Pre-diabetes, the number is, I've got percentages in here that we're going to have to get into. It is nuts.
Yeah.
But big tech is also, what ads are you seeing when you are scrolling through YouTube? Mm-hmm. What's the number one thing you see? Pharma.
Yep.
So they're funding big tech, which is funding or forcing kids to sit in their house all day. And that's funding the medical industry. And that's funding food.
Yeah.
It's all tied.
Yeah.
It's so dirty, man. It's so gross.
And we're so deep in it, like the mass psychosis with what people
this could piss
are used
people
to.
off.
It should.
No, it could piss them off that we're even saying this. I'm not addicted to nothing.
Dude.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So
yes, you are.
My immediate family. I wish I'd brought my son. My son almost came in with me today. I kind of wanted his input on it. But when I brought to them, hey, I'm cutting out sugar, I'm chilling out on sweet tea. Like, they looked at me like I had lobsters growing out of my ears.
Yeah.
And they're like, I put it this. I was trying to think of a way of describing that situation and that mindset. Mm-hmm. It's like if you walked into a room of, let's say, 15 meth heads.
Yeah.
All right. And you're the only not meth head in there.
Mm-hmm.
The whole room's full of meth heads. They're wearing it out. They're high as kites. They're loving it. You walk in there as a healthy person and go, or a non-addict. You walk in there as a non-addict.
Addicted human. Yes.
Human, and say, hey, guys, I know y'all just got on this stuff. Your teeth aren't falling out yet, but it's going to happen.
And they're going to
100% going to happen. And you're going to lose a ton of weight. You're going to get sick.
Eyes are going to be sunken.
You're going to go crazy.
Your brain's going to melt.
Yeah. And they're all going to look at you like you're nuts.
Yeah.
And be like, get out of here.
And
they're going to turn to their other 15 buddies and be like, hey, did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yeah.
And they're going to snort it up and do whatever. What do meth heads do?
I think they shoot it. I think final stages is shooting it. Yeah.
Okay. But so like you get the point though. Like everybody around us is addicted.
Now imagine that the entire U.S. population are meth heads.
Yeah.
This sounds crazy to them.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they said that this was good for me. They said that I should be eating 11 servings of carbs.
This box of Honey Nut Cheerios has a heart on it. This got to be good for my heart, right?
And I'm sure, those are great for you. I'm sure that it had nothing to do that we were pushing this food pyramid in the 90s as soon as tobacco companies bought it.
Yeah.
No, not tied together at all.
Breads are great because look at it. It's the base of the pyramid. Look how great
this one says it has no sugars in it. Yeah. Dig into it a little more because processed grain is void of fiber. Guess what it is? sugar.
Yeah. That's gross.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's breathe a minute.
We need to. I'm getting hot in here.
I'm getting ready to yell. But
I've got numbers that's really going to make you yell after this.
We'll do that, and then we'll finish with some good. I've got an app that's it's been a game changer for me, and I'll share it, and it's free. But we'll talk about it after the break. So we're Patreon. We need to really push Patreon.
We do.
Mainly because we are idiots and we say things that we can't throw on YouTube. I'm pretty sure something we're going to say in here is going to have to get trimmed out.
We're going to piss big tech and pharma. We're definitely not getting any pharmaceutical ads on this video.
I'm good with that.
I
don't want to hear about my perineum getting infected because I'm trying to fix my sinus problem.
Old taint meds.
Yeah. Good. Do you know what a perineum is?
Yes.
Okay. Go look up. If you don't know what a perineum is, go look it up. That's okay to look up because it's just a medical term, but it's gross, and I really don't want to get infected. So
you don't want an infected perineum.
We can't even get through the break without getting all fired up.
I know.
Ticked
That's
off.
great.
But anyway, so we're going to have to trim stuff out of this probably.
Well, I don't know that we can put this one on.
We might have to pull that perineum part.
Yeah.
But the only place you're going to find that part is on Patreon.
Yeah.
We had to do a couple edits on the Brain Rot episode.
We did.
And we had to trim out some stuff because we went
not
a little too far.
Not because it was that crazy, but because YouTube would be mad.
Oh, they would have pulled us off immediately.
They would have pulled us off immediately.
We're still too new to be
Patreon, Shrouded Realities. Check us out. Yeah. It's cheap. $2 a month. We're not asking for the world on it.
And you get early access to all the shows. You get them 2 weeks early.
Almost 2 weeks early.
Yeah, so if you are watching on Patreon, you can hear us talk about Trump before the election.
Yeah, full unedited stuff. Yeah. So it'll be good.
Yep. Patreon, shroudedrealities.com. Got links to everything. It's got links to the Patreon, links to all our social media. We've been trying to step up our social media game. Thanks to some awesome investors that we got. We was able to get lighting and cameras. So we've been stepping up our social media game, which may be feeding into the problem, which makes me feel a little sick, but
yeah.
How else do you get the name of the show out?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
You that's where it lives.
Yeah.
We don't have a big advertising budget, so
actually it's $0.
Zero. Yes. Is zilch dollars that we can put towards advertising. So that's another big part. Word of mouth is huge for this show.
Yeah.
We got a sniffing suspicion of being shadow banned.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
I don't want to sound conspiracy theory yet.
There have been some things where we look at it and go, this does not make sense.
No. I can share the exact same reel. This happened this weekend. I didn't
know if you wanted to take it there, so I'll let you.
I shared a reel on my personal page.
Yeah.
And also shared the exact same reel.
Yeah.
Exact same information.
Should be being pushed out to the majority of the same people.
Same people on our Shrouded Realities page. And the view difference was huge.
In the thousands.
Thousands. I had one of them on my personal page hit 108,000 views.
Yes.
I feel bad. I didn't even see it because I don't live that much in view.
Know.
This was 7 weeks ago when it went viral, and we didn't even catch it to capitalize on it.
He just happened to be scrolling through his profile and went, what the crap was
108,000 views. The chat boards was blowing up. People calling us idiots, which was awesome.
And just as a comparison, we may have had 50 views on our actual personal or on our Shrouded Realities page. Yeah. So there is something that's amiss there.
Yeah. And that's the only thing I can attribute it to is like I've got 1,000 friends on my Facebook page, had it for years, but our Shrouded Realities page is still kind of minor.
1,000 to 100,000 is not the same number. Yeah. So I don't know how that happens.
But we may be getting shadow banned.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. Push
us out.
Hooky boys up.
We got merch. We got shirts. We got stickers, which is, like I said.
Can you tell me what we do with a sticker?
So what I would do with a sticker, which I don't know if y'all know where to get them, shroudedrealities.com.
Stick it on your laptop.
You can put it on things, and it's kind of like I think it's newfangled technology.
Really?
I do. I don't know that everybody's figured it out yet, but if you want to learn about stickers, the best way to learn is to buy one.
From?
Shroudedrealities.com, of course. I mean, they figured out how to put pictures on them. It's nuts.
We got a pretty stinking awesome picture of our logo, which is
we live in the future.
Sweet logo. I love our logo.
Yeah. We live in the future. That's all I can say.
We do.
Anyway.
You want to jump back into it and get pissed off some more?
Yeah, let's get mad again.
Give me some stats.
So here's just some percentages, some back and forth from where we were to where we are. 74% of Americans today are overweight or obese.
74%.
That's, some would call that 3/4.
Yeah, I did. And without knowing that stat, I kind of had it in my head. I was at a conference on my vacation. It was kind of a work vacation, but it was a room full of people. I did step back and look and notice that.
You went, ooh.
Yeah. Like you can pick out who actually either has the craziest, highest metabolism in the world or they work on what they eat.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to go to those 3 or 4 people in this giant room full of people and be like, hey, dude, how you eating? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. But anyway.
50% of children are overweight or obese.
50%.
50%. So that's half.
All right.
Half of our children are overweight.
Can I interject there a little bit too?
Yep.
All right. So my kids are of school age. Y'all seen my daughter on a couple episodes back.
Yep. Brain rot.
Yep. She plays volleyball. My son plays basketball. You go to a sports game with young athletic people.
Yeah.
Some heavyweight. There's some big people.
Some biggins.
These are kids playing sports on the regular. I know because I'm taking my kids to practice every day. Mm-hmm. I know that they're getting physical exercise, but they're still overweight. So if it's not an exercise problem, what is it?
Probably metabolic disorders that are caused from all this crap we're putting in our bodies.
You're talking about this toxic soup that we're living in?
Yeah. I mean, the bottled water I'm drinking right now.
It's not even good for us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's garbage. I just found this interesting. 120 years ago. That's not that long ago in the span of history.
It's not.
120 years ago, if you were obese, you were a sideshow attraction at a circus. That's not a joke. It's funny, but it's not a joke.
Get my water out. You gotta warn me before you drop something like that.
I'm gonna do it. God. Could you imagine right now if we put? I mean, at this point, it is more rare to be a skinny person than to be. They would be more likely to be a sideshow attraction than a fat person would. Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with that information.
It's nuts. But yeah, 120 years ago, if you were fat, you were being
You're
shown
like
off
300 or 400 pounds.
Yeah, which is like what you see in your average Walmart.
Yeah.
And they're probably...
Again, not dogging anybody's overweight.
I'm not dogging
Don't blame them.
It's hard.
It is.
It's work. But you would be in a circus.
Sideshow attraction.
That's how bad it is. So, anyways, 77% of adults are unfit to serve in the military because they are too fat. 77%.
What is that going to do with our military?
You think the rest of the world's not looking and going, hey, half of them can't even get out their door.
You think they got something to do with this too?
No, they do.
Of course they do.
They're selling us the pesticides that we're putting that they won't put on their stuff. Guess what? They're sending it to us and we're doing it.
And they're selling us the drugs to fix it at 5 times the cost.
Yep.
I've heard Ozempic, like it's all over the place right now. Everybody's talking about Ozempic.
We're trying to
don't know if it's good for you.
We're trying to give it away in Medicare.
They're testing it on 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's 5 times the cost of it here in America than it is in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
5 times.
Yep.
Tell me that boat ride costs that much?
Oh, of course, man.
Good.
You know how much fuel you got to have for that?
Jeez,
you almost can't even calculate the number. It's so much.
So I didn't prep for Ozempic. I'm just going to share my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Stuff's too new for us to be just like jabbing everybody with it right now.
See, and what it does is it makes you feel full.
Yeah. So, I said it's a chemical gastric bypass is what I heard it referred to.
Basically. So, I mean, it makes you feel full. And how I understand that is if you're eating foods that are not meant to literally shift your brain into making you think you're not full, you're going to feel full.
Yep.
So we're pumping, basically what this is you can eat all the garbage you want. You're just going to feel full faster.
Yeah.
But you can still eat the garbage with Ozempic and lose weight. But what are the side effects of it? It was like pancreatic cancer was the side effect of this stuff.
So you know why we have to eat so much?
I don't.
It's because of the nutrient and...
we're deficient.
Yeah, we're nutrient deficient because of how bad the food is we're eating.
Yeah.
They take all the good stuff out of all the food we're eating, So our body's constantly craving these different vitamins and minerals that we're evolved to partake in, that we have to have in our body. So we're constantly looking for just anything to cram in our gullet to fill that need. But it's not going to be there because
it's not there.
They swapped out the minerals that I need with the high fructose corn syrup.
Well, yeah, and I've got a thought on this high fructose. So, what's the guy's name? Casey? Was it Casey or
Casey's the lady of the group?
Okay. Anyway, her brother, whatever his name is, Callie. They're both kind of girl names, so it's kind of hard for me to remember which one's what.
I feel like Casey should be the dude, and Callie
I do too. That's where my brain goes. But I've also got neurotoxins in it.
If I didn't pull up my computer right here, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Anyway, he was talking about high fructose corn syrup, and the reason that makes you eat as much as it does is because it's tricking your brain into thinking that it's natural fruit.
Yeah.
Which is the fructose. Is tricking your brain to say, oh, this is natural fruits. You should eat more of this. Your body needs this. Keep ingesting. Do
you know where fructose is in the wild?
No.
It's in berries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what fructose does to a bear?
What?
Makes it crazy aggressive, because when they're out foraging for berries, they're wearing out the berries. And you think a bear, 1,000-pound bear, what's he going to do with some berries? But that's what gets metabolized and turns into fat.
Yeah.
That they need for the winter to survive. And it makes them aggressive because they've got to defend that berry patch, because now that's their source to survive the winter.
Yeah. And we're pumping it full of our bodies.
It's in everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Go find something that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it.
And they'll tell you, it's just for the sugar. It's just for the sweetener.
Yeah. That's all it is.
No.
Sure.
Yeah. Good night.
But yeah, it's hijacking our brains to think that we are eating something that's good for us when we're actually eating garbage.
To put us in hibernation mode.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Which I think that attributes to when you get done eating, you feel this lull of like, you hit that 2 o'clock after lunch, dude.
Oh, we hit that on the regular.
Yeah, almost daily. We get done eating and we go, why did I do that?
We've talked about putting an incentive in that if we hit a certain goal, we would get a cool lunch and then a nap after.
Yeah, we've actually talked about it.
Which would be the coolest thing ever.
That'd be the best. Anyway, I'm going to get back to percentages here for a second.
Sorry, go ahead.
So diabetes, just percentages of diabetes. 50% of American adults are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. So type 2 diabetes is you're just fat and your body can't produce the amount of...
Pre-diabetes is you're getting up there.
You're ready close. So 50%, half of our country is in that level.
Yep.
30% of teens are the same thing. 30%. That's a massive number. This one was the one that really messed me up a little bit. 18% of teens have fatty liver disease, which is only found in late-stage alcoholics.
But teenagers are getting it now.
Teenagers have it.
They're not drinking.
They're not. Well,
some
are.
Maybe the 17,
but not to the point of, having
destroying your liver.
Yeah, fatty liver disease. This is strictly from eating garbage,
which is everything.
Yeah,
it's not even like just cramming your gullet
18%
full of donuts.
I mean, it doesn't sound that crazy when you've just heard these other numbers. But if you want to break down what 18% of our population is,
it's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, man.
A lot of people.
That's a lot.
Guess what they're doing?
Yeah.
They're paying for a lot of drugs to try to fix said problem.
Absolutely they are.
Guess where that money goes?
They're not tied together, though. Don't worry about it. It's not on purpose.
We're just conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. Autism rates in kids.
Yeah.
This one scares me. I've got a newborn, and I've got to get into some of that, too, with vaccines for a second, because it's all freaking tied together.
This is the part we're about to edit out.
Golly. Yeah, I'm about to piss everybody off of that. Anyway,
go to Patreon if you want to hear what Steven's about to say.
This crap gets me so mad. Anyway, autism rates in kids. In the year 2000, it was 1 in 1,500 kids had autism.
It's pretty big.
Today, 1 in 36.
Jeez.
Not 3,600.
1 in 36.
36.
That's scary. That's a scary number.
I don't even. What's the percentage?
So do you think that is attributed to vaccines and big pharma, or do you think it's attributed to the
plays
food,
a part.
The food that's getting ingested?
I do think it plays a part, but I think it's overall nutrition to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that there's deficiencies in mothers that are, well, pregnant women. I think there are deficiencies in the nutrients that the kid's getting. I think there are, I mean, it's just everything.
Yeah.
I think it's probably in the chemicals that we're putting on our foods.
Yep. Pesticides and herbicides in the fields.
I mean, that is an insane in 25 years. 1,500 to 36.
Can't even make a joke about that.
It's not funny.
It's disgusting.
In California, it's 1 in 22. They're saying in the next 20 years, we could see 1 in 5.
What?
You talk 1 in 5, your population has crumbled. You can't.
No.
I'm not saying that autism is a detriment. I'm not even remotely. Am I saying
know
that?
Autistic kids.
I know people that are autistic that are smarter than I'll ever be, but there is a deficiency there that your culture is not the same as it is today.
And this stuff is preventable.
It's preventable things, but that number should scare everybody.
Yes.
I mean, that's a crazy number.
We need to be calling congressmen
something
like now, like y'all have got to do
1 in
something.
36.
Y'all have got to change the system.
That's insane. Infertility.
Yep.
It's going up 1% per year, or going down 1% per year.
Yep.
That's how I should say that. Sperm counts are going down 1% per year since 1970. So testosterone levels going down 1% per year since 1970. We're at 50% less than what we were in 1970.
All that toxic masculinity.
Going away.
Okay, there's not going to be anymore.
And Tucker brought this up, and I thought it was a really good point. And this is probably going to get taken off YouTube for this right here. But do you think that we're seeing some of the transgender situation that we see? Some of this is environmental.
Oh, wow.
I know that it's environmental.
Yeah.
But do you think that some of this
You mean cultural?
Yeah. I mean, it's the environment that they're in. So society, culture, environment, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you think that we're seeing some of this correlation between the emasculation of men
because of the
hormone imbalance that we're just pumping estrogens into our culture? Do you think that that's where some of this is coming from?
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I don't see how it couldn't play a part in it.
Yeah, it's got to.
I mean, some of it is I think that I'm a girl and I'm going to get attention for that.
Yeah,
that's the part that needs to probably, I think that some of that exists as well.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, how could you say that this doesn't play a part in it?
Yeah. I was listening to J.D. Vance. They just released on Rogan on the way out here. Mm-hmm. And he said he was talking to a lady that went to Paris. And he ran into her in Paris and noticed they was American anyway. They struck up a conversation. And she said, I feel like she thought that Paris was going to be more liberal, one of the more liberal cities. She said, I like in New York is like 100 times more liberal than what she was seeing in Paris. And he said, well, what makes you think that? And she said, it's because you look around here and the men are men and the females are females.
Yeah.
He said, you walk through the streets of New York City and you're seeing dudes in mini skirts with their testicles hanging out the mini skirts.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's like you said, it's probably got a lot to do with it because he's just so full of everybody's so full of estrogen that it's just
the xenoestrogen thing, man. Is we touched on it, but dude, it is nuts. Yeah. All the stuff that this does and where it goes.
We used to joke on a buddy of ours. He dinged on this a long time before we even did. And we give him such a hard time.
Yeah, whatever. Now I'm looking at it and I'm going, dadgummit.
I'm throwing away all the plastics. We're going straight glass.
So I've got some of the side effects of xenoestrogens here. Bloating and in your digestive system, being upset.
Yep.
Acne, low libido, heavy, light, or irregular periods. I hate when that happens. Tender, swollen. Yeah. Estrogens, man.
Sorry I offended you about the miniskirt.
Yeah, you're tearing me up. Yeah, you better chill out over there. Tender, swollen, or
Easy.
fibrocystic.
Okay.
I think that's how you say that. Breasts.
Okay.
Headaches, weight gain, hot flashes, mood swings, or PCOS, which is something that normally happens with pregnant.
Yeah, I'd ask my wife
women.
on this. It's a fertility issue.
Yeah. One of the things that carries these estrogens is called astrazine, which is found in all of the pesticides. Have you heard what it does? That sounds great. We use 70 million pounds of this in the U.S. on our vegetables and crops and stuff. Not legal in Europe. Can only buy it from overseas.
I was fixing that. Guess where we buy it from?
Yeah, China and Germany, which is jacking up all of our drug prices.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
like
this was very telling. If you put this specific pesticide or whatever it is on a developing male frog embryo, it will turn that embryo female with the amount of estrogens that are on it. So that means Alex Jones was right. They're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the frickin' frogs gay.
Making our frogs gay.
Putting chemicals in the water. Turn a frickin' frogs gay.
Speaking of chemicals in the water,
yeah,
let's get to fluoride.
See, fluoride's your lane. I don't know the fluoride game.
Why in the? I'm not gonna cuss. Why are they thinking fluoride in our
Clean
water?
Your teeth, brother.
Why the crap are we brushing our teeth twice a day then?
Well, because it's good, but you need to really scrub it with something that's going to take the enamel off your teeth.
So you know what excessive fluoride does to you if you're ingesting it constantly? It lowers your IQ.
Yeah.
There's studies that the higher fluoride water content.
We're going to be labeled such conspiracy theorists after this.
It's real though.
I know it is.
I know, but nobody wants to listen. I just want to scream it. They're putting fluoride in your water to clean your teeth. Heavy air quotes. Clean your teeth.
It's for the people that can't afford a toothbrush and toothpaste.
But they're freaking they do drinking the water anyway because they're addicted to the Mountain Dew. So their teeth are still rotting out.
Exactly. And if you're buying bottled water, it doesn't have all the fluoride in it, correct? Or does it?
I don't know.
Did you still
it's
have your
not
label?
in there. I've got the label. This one doesn't label any fluoride, but it does have calcium chloride, sodium bicarbonate in it in my water.
Yeah.
Why? All right. Hey,
it's making us so mad.
Jeez, because you can't do nothing about it. I'm drinking a stinking bottle of water that's got chemicals in it and anti-caking it. Why do I need an anti-caking agent in a bottle of water?
When's the last time you saw caked up water?
I haven't.
I don't even know what that means. Cake water?
What does that do?
What is caking?
Why is it in there?
Let me ask this. If I tried to bake a cake with this water,
it would ruin it.
Would it just not cake?
It would ruin it.
You can't cake with.
You would turn into
water?
dough. Cooked dough is all
that
you get.
seems cake. That seems cakey to me. Would it just be liquid cake? Cake soup.
Listen,
what would this do?
We're running out of time.
I don't know.
Let's get to some things that could help this problem.
We need it.
Okay.
Please.
I'm going to, jeez, oh, crummy. I'm going to take a drink after this.
I'm going to have to go get some blood pressure medication from my local big pharma place.
Okay.
After this.
Can't remember who I was listening to. I think it was somebody else on the Rogan show. Yuka, the Yuka app. Okay. It's a free app you can download. I've been wearing it out. You can scan a barcode of anything that's got a barcode, and it'll give you a rating 1 to 100 on how good or how bad it is.
Yeah.
So it keeps a history of it, so you can kind of see. This one kind of surprised me. I'm gonna read a few of them. Would you think that goldfish crackers are good or bad for you?
Goldfish, cheese crackers?
Yep. Yep. The snack that smiles back.
Goldfish. Yep. Okay. I would say
Farm.
probably not good.
I thought it would be good. I mean, you think cheesy crackers, who cares? It's a 5 out of 100.
What I would like to know what chemicals are in this.
Okay, so the app also breaks down.
Tell you all the chemicals that are bad.
Yep, tells you why it's good, why it's bad. All right, so there is some positive. It's got protein, it's got fiber, no sugar, which is pretty cool.
That's good.
Low fats. Okay. Yeah. But what makes it bad is the sodium, which is a salt, which I get.
I'm not that worried about.
A little bit caloric. I'm not too worried about it either. But the thing that gives it such a bad rating is the additives. All right, so you click into the additives, you go to more info on the additives. It's got monocalcium phosphate.
What is that?
What does that do? Don't know. The app tells you. Yucca, Y-U-K-A. Click on that particular thing. Phosphate that contains phosphorus, a chemical element that is essential to the body. Sounds good, right?
Not bad.
Excess phosphorus can disrupt bone mineralization, damage the kidneys, and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and breast cancer.
Oh.
The snack that smiles back is giving you breast cancer.
And it's deteriorating
how about
your
instead of the
bones.
pink ribbon that says I'm supporting breast cancer, how about you quit putting additives in my freaking food?
How about you quit making my boobs tender?
Not just tender, gives them cancer.
We lost our lights. They're gone.
Oh, man. So far. Daggone.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our sign we need to shut down. Anyway,
Nope,
I'm going to scan through. This bottle of water. I scanned this bottle of water.
Yeah.
Purified water. I'm not going to tell you who it's from. Purified water. It's good. It says it's good. Okay. No calories, no saturated fat, no sugar. It's still a 65 out of 100.
On water.
On water.
No, I remember.
This stuff is supposed to keep me alive.
Me and you scanned this out together. And I was like, this is a bottle of water. We're going to be good.
No.
And when I saw a 65, I went, what? It's water.
It's because of the limited risk on sodium bicarbonate, the anti-caking agent.
What does it do? Tell me about sodium bicarbonate for a second.
Recent study found that emulsifiers may be associated with development of breast cancer.
So we're just, I don't know if you, I don't think I talked about it. Do you know how many women will get breast cancer in the U.S.?
Oh, give me that stat.
1 in 8.
Good gravy.
And that number will get closer and closer as time goes on if we're still eating and drinking this garbage.
Pure protein brownie bar. All right. It's pure protein.
This is one of those, it's on the health aisle.
Yep.
It's in with mussels.
20 grams of protein right there on the label.
Gonna get swollen.
1 gram of sugar. Not bad.
Nothing.
Only 180 calories.
That's good for you. That's a meal replacement.
8 out of 100.
That's garbage.
Guess why?
Tell me.
Saturated fat and additives. Let's dig into the additives.
Let's see what
8 hazardous additives.
8 of them.
In this good for you protein bar.
Yep. Buy it on the health aisle.
Good gravy. I can't even get Tarzine, yellow, sunset yellow FCF. Don't know what that is.
Don't even know what it is.
Something I can't pronounce. Brilliant blue FCF food coloring.
Yep.
Titanium dioxide as a food coloring. All of these are food colorings that I just give.
Yeah.
Disodium phosphate, antioxidant. Why do I need antioxidant in a brownie?
Yeah. Because it's a healthy brownie.
Can't say that for texture. Sucralose as a sweetener. Here we go.
Yep, that's a good stuff.
Sucralose, an intense artificial sweetener. A number of studies suggested that adverse impact of sucralose on blood glucose levels, insulin sensitivity, and amount of food consumed, and the amount of food consumed.
Yeah.
So diabetes. You're going to get diabetes from the protein bar that you're
from the thing that's not even sugar.
It's on the health file.
It's not sugar, but it's meant to taste like sugar. That's the thing that's going to give you diabetes.
All these additives.
Yeah. And that's on, like I said, that's on the health aisle.
And that was the problem that guy was running into on that documentary I was watching. He was eating the healthy stuff.
20 grams of protein.
Destroyed this cat.
Packing on some muscles.
Anyway.
Except you're going to be diabetic and you can't get out of it.
Anyway, so the Yucca app will either
check it out.
Really piss you off.
Well, the good thing about the Yucca app, too, is it does give you alternatives to said thing.
To the bad thing.
There is a paid option where you can dig in further and find out what deodorant is giving you xenoestrogens and what, I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah. What's really hurt my feelings about this app is the food that I got to quit eating now.
Yeah, I know.
Good stuff.
The further I've dug into this, the more sad I've been because I'm like, man, dadgummit.
Can't eat nothing.
Can't have nothing.
Can't have nothing.
Golly.
Dude, let's wrap it up. Grow your own food. Whole Foods is probably the biggest thing that you could do.
Yeah.
You know, just eat an apple. Don't put it through the juicer. Yeah. Just eat it.
Well, I mean, you can put it through a juicer at your house.
No, even that's bad because you're pulling out all the good fiber and nutrients and stuff that's in the apple and drinking just the sugar water that comes out of it.
You're killing me.
You got to eat the apple, bro.
Dadgummit.
Anyway, my blood pressure's through the roof. Now I got to go talk to my pharmacist to get a blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
Get in the system.
I mean, there's no way around it.
Anyway, we're going to circle back on this one again. We still got a whole lot more we could have covered.
We didn't even touch the surface of this problem.
Anyway, missing Connor. Let's miss you, buddy. Catch you on the next one. Hopefully, Steven, Joey, and Ruby, the podcast dog, stay healthy. Pay attention to what you're eating. Call your congressman.
I don't know.
All
Just
the
do things better.
Make
I
good
don't know.
votes.
That's right.
Anyway, appreciate everybody.
Thanks, guys.